Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover. Cindy's off tonight. One of President Donald Trump's first executive orders mandated the termination of federally funded programming known as DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The order's broad language has raised questions for some private employers. Our Madison Sims has this story. Madison.
That's right, Greg. DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and it focuses on building workspaces or communities that are diverse, fair, and inclusive for everyone. And one local consulting firm breaks down what this means for companies moving forward. Wade Hinton is the CEO and founder of Hinton Company, a business consulting firm. His team specializes in leadership development and creating inclusive workspaces for organizations of all sizes.
That could be helping leaders understand how they show up differently and better for their employees, but also helping organizations think about the kinds of systems they need to create a culture that can thrive.
Following President Trump's executive order to end what he calls radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing, many questions have been raised about what DEI encompasses.
There's statements such as illegal DEI. DEI on its face is not illegal, right? It really is about trying to create a level playing field for everyone.
For federal and government employees, the order put a pause on all DEI operations and placed DEI employees on leave. But as businesses look to reframe their inclusionary practices, Hinton urges company leaders to assess their core values in order to best serve their employees and customers.
Is it important for us to try to address problem solving in a way that considers all perspectives? And if we can create a culture like that, right, and that's part of our values, then irrespective of what we call it, right, that's what we want to do to try to drive change long term. Despite
the Trump administration's decision to terminate DEI initiatives, Hinton shares the core desire of employees remains unchanged.
Ultimately, people want to show up at work. They want to feel like they go to a place where they can thrive, where they have opportunity, where there's access, and where they can be treated fairly.
Hinton says for now they aren't seeing any imminent changes to how they do business, and he encourages companies to continue seeking opportunities that will advance their workplace relationships and collaboration.
Continue to stay curious about the people you're working with, but also curious about how you can create a culture, and everybody has that opportunity to create a culture where everyone feels like they belong.
For companies that may have questions regarding their own company culture, the link to contact Hinton's consulting firm will be in our Local 3 News app. In the studio, I'm Madison Sims. Greg.